The Good Ride. Average riders helping average riders worldwide. So this is the review of the Alloy Sniper 2019. This I rode with Union Atlas, Union Stratas, and that was really all I need. I probably should have put on the Falcors to see how it worked, but despite all this camber, it's a quick turning board and I didn't feel like I needed any more than that. Adidas Tactical ADVs, the usual. To sum this up, this is an old school, full camber, directional twin, hard carving, hard charging, aggressive mountain board for those that know what they're doing. They want lots of technical pop. They want spring out of every turn, and they know if they get off their game, they're fucked. But when they're on their game, you're just gonna get so much more out of the turn, so much more air, so much more power in everything you do, and that's what the Sniper's for. So let's get into the flex here. You can see it's pretty medium stiff. It's got a little more give in the tip and tail, but that doesn't really translate to the snow. It's a tough board to butter. It's a tough board to play around with. You have to be a very strong, very capable rider to be able to make this do things that other boards do. You know, this camber profile is just full on old school 2000s camber. This reminds me of boards I used to own in the early 2000s. And back then you wouldn't say this is this aggressive, gnarly board. But these days you would, because it's just so different, you know. You know, with the on snow feel here, it's catchy, it's aggressive, it's locked in, it's all the way locked in. You can see there isn't that much nose and tail going on either. So you've got a decent amount of effective edge, not massive, but a decent amount of effective edge, a lot of camber, and it's just old school locked in feel. And you know, with the edge hold, I would say it's got really confident grip with that, you know, slight disruption in the side cut, this old school camber flex. I could feel that on some days I was riding this. I didn't film a lot with this, but I just take it out for a run here and there. Lots of bad weather days. I finally got a sunny day and I put the camera up. And actually finally got these goggles out. But today was sunny. There was nice, good snow. But right underneath was hard, like ice underneath. And sometimes when you're in a turn, the more I buried my edge, the more I felt this grip, and I could feel it hold on there where some boards would have let go already. So that was pretty cool. Now for turn initiation, it's very quick edge to edge. If you know how to turn and you can lead your weight, it springs very quickly edge to edge, and I like that. Now when you get into the full turn and you actually engage the side cut, it's not too shallow, not too deep, in my opinion. I just, you know, I didn't even look at the radius. I just wanted to see how it felt. You can circle carve with it. You can carve across the groomers. It's a very cool side cut to where it just allows you to kind of do what you want to do when you want to do it. It's not one extreme or the other. It just feels kind of middle ground. And the turning experience, there's just so much spring out of the turn that if you want a directional twin, but you want some power to it, you want to carve regular and switch, make good springing turns, just feel that energy come out, feel it resist into the turn and then spring out. That's what this does the best. That's That's what makes this board shine. Now, you know, speed, it's fast, it's got a nicely waxed base, the base has good glide to it, carries its speed well, it's damp at high speeds, it's got more speed than I'm capable of. I'd say it's, you know, it's on the upper end of the spectrum. It's very comfortable. And I gotta get these goggles off. They're pinching my nose and making me sound funny. Uneven terrain, you know, the board has some give and the ability to power through like micro bumps and stuff like that. And it's a quick turner, so you could weave in and out of moguls. It's just, if you're trying to hammer through uneven terrain, I think it's a lot easier to catch an edge if you get off your game with this than many other boards out there. So that's kind of the one thing that's a bit of a problem. But it's got the dampness and the technology to handle uneven terrain, and you can ride a messy resort day. It would just be like riding one in the 2000s. And you know, riding switch felt really good, and it's on the upper end. If you have this centered and you're riding switch, it's great. You can treat this as a very aggressive mountain freestyle ride. You know, when it's a groomer day, and I mean, I really wouldn't want to be on this in powder, and that takes it to the next thing. This thing is just a old school cartwheeler. You want to be on something else, like that outcome right there. That's why it's in this picture here, because while this doesn't have the camber, it has that directional float. And if you're looking more for a one board quiver solution, it's definitely that outcome. It's just so much more of a well-rounded, more forgiving, powder-friendly board. But if you want that technical carving power, the pop, everything, that's the compromise you have to take to get this board. You know, and for park, I really didn't ride in the park, but this could just take on any kicker of any size if you want to. And this just, I've ridden this in the pipe in past years. Our pipe isn't up really, and I would love to ride it again. It's a little technical, a little unforgiving for you know, not a strong pipe rider like myself, but still it's a great pipe board, especially if you know what you're doing. And overall, this just is one of those boards that just, you know, I get this every year, and every year I know what I want to do on it. I just want to go out and carve groomers, regular and switch. I want to, you know, get a little air and just make sure I'm up for it. You got to be on your game. It's nothing like the DO or anything like that, where you really have to stare at yourself in the mirror today and say, I'm gonna do this. But it is more like, hey, you got to be on your game here. So there you have it. That's the Alloy Sniper 2019, made by Nidecker out of their Tunisia factory. Voila.